You are.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tales podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we are live on a Monday night, ready to do some podcasting. Find us everywhere you get podcasts. Leave us 5-star reviews that are nice on the Apple Podcast app, and we'll read them on the show on Saturday mornings, okay, or Saturday whenever we do it.
Whenever we do it, the number one thing is not the fact that you left one. It has to be nice. If it ain't
Yeah.
nice, I turn a blind eye.
5 stars, and it must be nice. The official weapon of the show is
The taser.
and the unofficial sport,
Football.
a bullet ball. Extreme. I guess we can just go ahead and get right on into the podcast. I don't really have too much to bring up. So we might as well just hop into these segments. Of course, the first segment, we got a little bit of coronavirus news. Oh wait, this is the wrong one.
Coronavirus.
That's the original. Let me go find the remix
Again.
Yeah. Like, how did I have this thing separated by the? Oh, that's why, because I got it separated by the wrong thing. Well, this is just awesome. I don't know where
In front of company.
I don't know where I stashed it. No, it's on me this time. It's not his fault. What did I have this divided by? I know it wasn't that. I know it wasn't. I thought it was by like date. Oh yeah, I found it.
Okay.
Coronavirus. Again? Look, here we go again. We got variants. Really need to keep a mask on hand and follow the plan. Get the vaccine and second shots, whether woman or man. Black out who tips is doing their part, but the dummies expand. Niggas would rather believe a bunch of misinformation. Fuck y'all idiots not getting shots. Now we gotta regress. If we keep going in this direction, we never can rest. Never can get back to the lives we be living the best. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the intubation crying, cause it's your fault that motherfuckers dying. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the ventilator crying, cause it's your fault that motherfuckers dying. I do not understand this shit, I'm not a fan of this. We were like one win from the pandemic championship, but fuckers wanna leave it to game 7 with Giannis Delta Kumpo blocking forward progression and Chris middle fingers to your plans, man. Damn. Looks like it's no Drew holiday for you and your mans. I'm sick of black people dying for real, so I'm just writing this new piece to let you know how I feel. Coronavirus, yeah. Fuck that COVID-19, it's unseen, it's creeping in the air for you to breathe, yeah. So fuck that COVID-19, it's unseen, it's creeping in the air for you to breathe, yeah.
Coronavirus news. Okay, let's just get right into it. It sucks. Still around, but we need to know what's happening on these streets, and it's not all bad news. I think I read this one already. The WHO reports a 90% drop in world COVID-19 deaths since February.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I think I covered that. Pandemic related stress disrupted women's periods, study says.
I can see that. Yeah, just regular normal ass stress disrupts a period.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think anybody with a uterus or vagina, like anybody that's dealing with that
menstrual cycle
knows that it can be ruthless and traitorous. It's like it's betraying you every month for 5 days, And so then you throw, and then it's like, a vagina is like a magpie, it's just like you can't feed it at the midnight, you can't get it wet, it's a lot of stuff going on. And any volatile situation you throw in there, I think you're gonna find some, that it's gonna, any volatile situation you put a person in, you're gonna find that it affects their period if they have one,
literally anything from medications to stress, right, to just, it don't matter, anything around you can, depression, it just you know what, I just feel like doing my own thing. And for a lot of people, I know, even for me, I started birth control because of that, because it was just you know what, here you go, I'm not gonna call you, I'm not gonna tell you when I'm gonna show up, girl, here you go. And then it's okay, the next month's you know what, I feel like I'm gonna take 6 months off, bitch, what? So if anything, it affects just doing his own thing anyway. So
right,
I could definitely see this because the stress was real and it was high and it was for long periods of time. So I could see it fucking up with your hormones, all types of shit.
And that's if you was lucky enough to be able to have a period during the last 2 years. Because a lot of women have not been having, a lot of people haven't been having periods. Because Nick Cannon's been getting them pregnant and they've been having babies. Okay? When they update the Bible into the New Testament, it's just going to be, and Nick Cannon begat Zeppelin Cannon, and Nick Cannon begat Powerful Queen Cannon, and Nick Cannon begat Legendary Love Cannon, and Nick Cannon begat Zillion Hair Cannon.
We need a family flow chart.
Okay? 23andMe just going to be called Nick Cannon and Me.
Yes, it is.
By the time you get to 2030, it's Nick Cannon and Me. But nah, it's been a lot, and I it makes sense. Participants took an online survey answering questions about stress related to COVID-19 pandemic, as well as self-reported menstrual changes between March 2020 and May 2021, such as changes in cycle length, duration, flow, and frequency of spotted in between cycles. It also makes sense too, because it's not just been the pandemic, it's been Roe v. Wade being overturned,
right?
And, the insurrection and shit too. Results showed that more than half of women who participated had at least one change in their menstrual cycles since March 2020, even after adjusting for outside factors such as age, smoking history, obesity, education, and mental health history. Some women had, with the highest stress levels due to the pandemic, experienced changes in all 4 categories.
Yeah, I could see that. And like you said, it's not like you said, it's not only the pandemic, it's January the 6th. Like you said, it's Roe v. Wade. It's like there are a lot of external factors and shit just ain't normal.
Right.
And people act like everything's supposed to be normal and everybody just get back to normal. You don't know. And this is not including women that may have caught coronavirus and things like that too.
That's a great point.
Which actually
it has all kinds of effects.
Yes, which may throw it off in addition to the stresses.
Yeah, that's a great point. So yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
And also, lastly, Moderna's. Oh, sorry, 2 more stories. Moderna's Omicron shots show better immune response than the original COVID vaccine.
That talking about the remix one?
Yeah, the Moderna Inc. said on Monday its Omicron-tailored vaccines produced a better immune response against the BA.4 and 5 subvariants in a mid to late stage study, which when given as a booster dose compared with its original shot. So it's more effective.
Mm-hmm. Let's go. Remix it up, baby.
They said the levels of neutralizing antibody response dropped nearly 5-fold against the emerging subvariant BQ.1.1 when compared to BA.4/5 in an analysis of about 40 participants, although the virus neutralizing activity still remained robust. Rival Pfizer said it, and its German partner BioNTech said earlier this month that their Omicron targeted shot produced a strong antibody response in older adults more than the original shot after 1 month. So both of these shots are more effective, as it appears. So
I'll take 5-fold. Let's go.
COVID denying medical group implodes over the founder's extravagant spending.
So you mean to tell me it was a drifter that was trying to take your money off of something that they claim was not real?
Grifters be grifting. That's what they do. When employees at leading COVID pseudoscience group America's Frontline Doctors,
them names, America Frontline Doctors, but fuck them facts though. Okay,
it's always the opposite of whatever it is.
Yes, it is.
It's just they probably sat in the back of the class, not the front line, But yeah,
you went in the front of nobody's nothing.
They tried to log into work last week. When these employees tried to log in, they found themselves locked out of their email accounts. The nonprofit quickly fell into factions, with employees holding rival Zoom meetings to plot who would take over the group. The organization's exiled founder, Dr. Simone Gold, tried unsuccessfully to gain access to a private Zoom call, only to find herself stuck in a waiting room in eternal emails. The group's accountant worried about who could still access the $7 million locked in the bank accounts. The war for the rights. First of all, y'all gave these niggas $7 million. The War for the Right's most prominent COVID quack group and the millions of dollars it has raised through relentless fundraising and prescriptions for bogus coronavirus cures had begun. That's what all the ivermectin money was to win.
It had to go somewhere.
Shout out to Joe Rogan.
Somebody had to take a paycheck.
He helped them out. For months, the AFLDS has been split between its board and Gold, the group's charismatic founder and convicted capital rider, over an internal audit into Gold's personal spending. That dispute spilled over into the open on November the 5th, when the board sued Gold to try and force her to stop representing the organization. So she was out there like, I'm still with America's Frontline Doctors, y'all. Just give straight to my Cash App.
They was like, no,
just Venmo me. Mm-hmm.
Me directly. And
$sign Dr. Simone. Now the lawsuit's group outcome could determine the fate of the group driving much of the medical disinformation on the pro-Trump right. The AFLDS is tearing itself apart in a fight over what Gold's rivals describe as her extravagant spending using the group's funds. The alleged purchases include $100,000 on a single private jet trip, $50,000 a month on Gold's personal expenses. Much of the controversy is centered around the AFLDS's purchase of a $3.6 million mansion in Naples, Florida, where Gold lives with her boyfriend, a much younger underwear model and fellow capital rider. Shades of Black Lives Matter up in here. I see.
White people news. They about here like them other dudes, them other people that was we talked about. It was like 10 of them. And they was had took the people money and they had to shut that shit down. What was that organization? We was talking about it on 3 Guys On.
FTX?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You can catch more of that on 3 Guys On, or something happened with Mike Brown.
Me and Mike need to do that show.
Oh, Mike B.
Oh, Mike B. Something happened. You know what? Something else happened.
Gold isn't backing down, penning threatening emails to board members and describing herself alternately as a popular folk hero, a rainmaker, and an avenging lioness. It's really a mess, and I'm really sorry that's come to this, said Richard Mack, a AFLDS board member and far-right former Arizona sheriff. Every sentence of this gets worse. Who wrote this? Shout out to the Daily Beast. This 8 minutes long. I'm not going to read it all, but man, of course they fell apart. They were grifters the whole time. And the sad part is that it won't change anybody's faith in them. Like there won't be people that go, maybe I've been misled and maybe my anti-vax shit is not really set on solid ground if all the people that were spinning this turn out to be fucking grifters. You know, you think that somebody will be, yeah, maybe I should go back and rethink my stance on things, but I don't think they will.
Nope, they just give more money.
Yeah, so you know how it
regroup,
goes.
rename, come out with another version of this.
Right. All right, let's get into some regular news. Let me find one of these songs to play. Then we'll do some regular news. That's funky.
I know, I like that.
Dave Chappelle.
What about him?
Hosted SNL this week.
I heard.
I haven't watched it yet. I may go watch it. I heard some of the sketches were pretty funny. I don't know. But anyway, Dave Chappelle is accused of normalizing anti-Semitism in his SNL monologue. Because he made jokes about Kyrie and Kanye, and then, made jokes about, Jews controlling Hollywood and all of this stuff, which is a anti-Semitic trope. I think a lot of times for Black people, it's hard for them to not even understand, but accept why saying somebody owns all the money in the banks and is anti-Semitic. But it's easy to learn why. I mean, like, there's a history there. It's been used to demagogue them, to make it so that Jewish people could get the animosity towards Jewish people in Germany started with lies like this. Jewish people, not to mention, like, it's funny how people go, well, Jewish people are in Hollywood and they're successful, therefore they run it. You know, it's like saying black people run the NFL, you know, run the NBA. It's like, well, not really. It's just a lot of black people there. And then in America, there's a lot of places you just don't see black people.
Right. And at the time, a lot of them broke into Hollywood because that was the only place to go, like at the time.
So at any rate, he made jokes about it. I won't even really read them here and it's not because they're offensive. It's just you can't do it justice because I imagine it was during a stand-up set and people sometimes people were laughing.
I want to know the context. Like I gotta hear for some things I just rather just see it versus just read.
Yeah, text. I think there's like at this point with him, both sides, and I'm not saying both sides are equal, but both sides are very predictable.
Right.
He goes on stage, he makes jokes that he knows are gonna needle people that are, for lack of a better term, woke or whatever.
Yeah, a lot of people online.
Yeah, just like for lack of a better term, woke, right? He knows it's gonna needle these people, and they're gonna go on their, you know, social medias and talk about them, and they know he's gonna do it. So then, anytime he's anywhere, and SNL, I don't think would be off limits to him because, to be honest, if Netflix isn't off limits, I don't know why SNL would be off limits.
Right.
Anyway, they go through all this shit every time. And this time he didn't make any trans jokes and stuff. But supposedly he switched his monologue. So, because it's a live show. So his original monologue was something else in rehearsal. And then when they went, okay, we're going to do it live, he switched over to this. Jokes about Jewish people and shit, about how they run stuff in Hollywood, and you know, and they shouldn't, you know, hopefully they won't take anything from me just because I made some jokes, and you know, all this other shit. Like I think it's like it's really more tired than it is offensive to me. But I haven't watched this one, so maybe I'll watch it and feel differently. I think also, like, once you get into anti-Semitism in the humor category, that right there truly is a slippery slope, because there's so many mainstream shows, and like Family Guy and fucking, like, there's a lot of people that make jokes about Jewish people, and I don't know if we have the social capital in America to make that off limits now. I like, if they do, I doubt it's going to start with Dave Chappelle, but there's going to be a lot of people that aren't Jewish that make jokes about Jewish people and shit that seem to have been accepted and gotten critical acclaim and money and all this shit, that's going to have to drop this shit too. And then you're going to get into this, why Dave Chappelle got to stop, but Seth MacFarlane got fucking 3 shows that make jokes about this shit and blah, blah, blah. So,
right.
I don't know. I just feel like it's just kind of the same shit. And then also, like, SNL is just not necessarily clean. I think people view SNL as like morally clean somehow, or they expect them to be, but I don't think SNL's been that. I think, you know, back in the days of having Trump on there and shit, it's just they've kind of courted with, they've had Elon Musk on there. I think, you know, I don't think they accept the premise that SNL is normalizing bad people. Now, I'm not saying that's not true, but I don't think Lauren Michaels at all accepts this, like, if we have somebody on, we're making it okay for this person. And as long as they don't accept that, they're gonna continue to have motherfuckers on there like this. So at any rate, though,
it's about ratings and viewings, and guess what? He gets eyeballs on the screen.
Yeah, and I mean, for the most part, he is funny. It's just and I'll say this forever, like, that dude can be one of the most funny people. It's just he got stuck on the internet doesn't like me, everybody doesn't want to be my friend, and now I'm just gonna be an old man yelling at everybody until they do, or until I feel better. And he's never gonna feel better. He's the biggest victim of don't feed the trolls. He wants to out troll them, but he's become a parody of it now. And now it's him being the guy that's always going back and forth with these people that ultimately don't come to his shows, don't support him, don't buy his shit. So why are you so pressed to get these people on your, to humble them? Anyway, in major news since the last time we were on the air, Democrats will keep control of the Senate.
Let's go.
Yeah, and Georgia's still up for grabs. So they have 50 seats. This has never happened under a first term president, especially one that had low approval ratings, which might as well just been the inflation rating because it really wasn't about Biden. But yeah, they got 50 seats so far. They could win Georgia, get 51. Some people are already saying, well, we don't need Georgia if we got 50.
Kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Because who's saying that? White people? Kiss my ass.
Right. Because Manchin and Sinema, number one, can't depend on them.
That's my thing. It's like we need to take the control out of the fuckers' hands. They were the reason why a lot of shit did not get passed.
Yeah. So number one, you can't even depend on them. And then number two, like people in Georgia want representation, and they shouldn't have to settle for fucking Herschel Walker,
who is not a smart man.
Whoa, Karen, that's a hot take. You want to calm that down a little bit? Oh wow, okay, all right.
I said what I said, and I said it with my chest. He's
my goodness,
a smart man.
Wow, that's a hot take right there. Damn. You just gonna stick by it?
Yes, I am. 10 toes down. He's not smart.
Okay, well, nobody saw that coming. Okay. But yeah, I'm with you. Let's see what else. But yeah, and then they might keep the House. They don't know for sure. Different projections have it all over the place. And as I thought last week when it was election day, it was gonna take a while for these races. It was too many elections happening. It's gonna be too close. One thing I think people do have to give Democrats credit for that a lot of people thought was bad idea, bad politics, but it turns out Democrats were right. Meddling in those primaries and promoting the extremist Trump Republicans.
A lot of them lost.
Because a lot of them lost, and the reason they lost, like these election denier motherfuckers, and people was like, the Democrats don't know what they're doing, but it turns out that maybe it was right. It was more right than people thought, because a lot of these races fucking the people are not voting for the election deniers.
Right. And we was talking about this. Majority of the American public is not stupid. Right. And majority of them was like, bitch, we woke up every day for fucking 4 years in goddamn chaos under Donald Trump.
Right.
We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know what we were going to say. We didn't know if he was going to change laws. We didn't know he was going to bring back slavery. Bitch, didn't nobody know nothing. Nobody wants to wake up every day with motherfuckers just doing shit just to do shit, and you don't know how it's going to directly impact your life. No.
Right. So yeah, we'll see what happens further along. But yep, that's good. It's good news that they kept the Senate, because that'll stop a lot of the shit that even if they lose the House, it'll stop a lot of shit. They can't like try to impeach the president shit. The other thing too that I think is interesting is people are floating this thing of, if the Democrats keep the House, Nancy Pelosi should step down somehow.
Bitch, why?
And yeah, the only thing, I think one reason is she did kind of hint that maybe she would retire. Maybe she would end her terms after this or whatever. But she never really put a firm date on that anyway. It was kind of speculation. And
unless she wants to, or no.
Yeah, and a lot of it was just, people call her old and saying she needs to step down because they don't like that she isn't the most progressive politician compared. Like, she's not in the squad. And if she was in the squad, they'd be like, no, she needs to be the leader. But, super progressive people on Twitter just think being a Democrat is being the most progressive, and then everybody listens to you, which obviously is not true. And we know that in practice, that doesn't work. You can't get elected everywhere with that.
Right. And they found out in practice this shit don't work.
Right.
Because when they start going for committees, people's like, no, bitch, not you.
Yeah. So
you got to get along with people.
So the thing for me is this, though. If there's a 219 to 218 advantage for Democrats, if that's the case, I don't trust anybody but Nancy Pelosi to be able to wrangle those people in, because I don't think
else.
I think you're gonna have to bring some cachet with you to be able to get 219 votes in line every single time. We talking about Democrats that's fucking pro-abortion and anti-abortion. You know what I mean? You're gonna be talking about people that's pro-gun and anti-gun. It's gonna be very hard to like call on them and be like, hey, you need to vote with us today. We can't have one person flip sides or say I abstain. Everybody's got to be down with this. And if we don't have the votes, I'm coming for your ass. So I don't know that everybody's going to be able to do that, you know? So I'm interested to see where that goes.
Right. And also, maybe just me sometimes, and she's smart enough and intelligent enough to know that she can have the numbers without certain people.
Right.
Because there was a bill that passed and everybody, you know, a percentage of the squad was like, well, I'm not voting for this. And cool.
We got enough.
We don't need you.
Yep.
But we don't want everything to hang in the balance of the people that went out here and was like, hey, y'all know what? Give up some of Ukraine. No, bitch.
And there's a math to that, right? So a lot of people think that's her saying fuck you to the squad or something like that. But a lot of times that's her going, I know y'all need to not vote for this so y'all can get reelected.
Right.
In your district, you need to be just like in sometimes they have other things that come up and it's like, well, in this Democrat's district, he can't be anti-gun. So we can't have him vote with us on this. So we need to figure out a way to get the votes without him, you know, or her or whoever. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's going to be interesting. Meanwhile, the U.S. court extends block on Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. Now, I was told by AppleCare that all Joe Biden had to do was pass executive order, and that's all that we would need, and it will be fine. And it's just his fault because he ain't want to pass no order. And so now this shit is getting stuck in these corners because states are challenging it. And I think this was in Texas, and they're saying no. And you go to the student loan forgiveness site right now, it's like we can't take anybody's application at the moment because it's caught up in court. We working on it, but it's never as simple. And people were like, Joe Biden could do up to $50,000 if he wanted to. Well, apparently the fuck not. It was never going to be that goddamn simple.
Right.
And now where is everybody that said that?
Epridge Farm remembers.
Where are y'all? What happened to them folks? You know, it's funny. I saw that grifter, Brianna Joy Gray, saying some shit about how she was like, I knew this would happen. I predicted this a month ago. And I loved someone petty as me, but with more time on their hands, screenshotted her saying, when it was popular to say this about Biden, he could easily just sign this thing into law. It's not, he doesn't need to pass anything, blah, blah, blah. Just say that you're going to forgive the debt, blah, blah, blah. And now it's, no, he said that to get the youth vote. And then he knew it would be struck down. Like, fuck you. Fuck you, you unhelpful ass nigga. Like, god damn. And it's so gritty because obviously it's all to get your Patreon and shit.
Right.
Like, it ain't about us. It ain't about America. It's not about making anybody's life better. It's just about being the Candace Owens of the left again. Hey, wait, let me tell you, I'm so woke that I actually am on the Republican side of shit.
Right.
So
that shit don't make sense.
It's just funny how you never see those people go back and go, actually, you know what? I called this wrong.
Oh no, because then you have to admit that you are flawed.
Yeah, I said it was easy. All he had to do was sign it and it'll go through. All you had to do was say it and it would become law. And no. Apparently there's a bunch of fucking pulleys and levers that have to go along with this shit, and it only takes a couple cogs to be like, now fuck everybody. Mm-hmm. And the good news is that the youth vote turned out. I would like to see exact numbers because I know of this shit is kind of vague, and a lot of people are using confirmation bias to cherry pick and be like, it was this. You know, it was the most progressive people that won. It was the most moderate people that won. It was the most, but it was the old people. It was the young people. The only thing we know for sure is it wasn't the white people, right? But I would love to see the numbers on that because people have been giving credit to the youth, and I'm like, it would make sense. You got the marijuana thing. You got the student loan shit. You got Republicans overturning Roe.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people that's never lost a right before. That's about to go through a cycle of us losing a lot of rights.
Yeah, and also,
affirmative action about to be gone.
And also, it's one of the things too, particularly with a lot of young people. These are shits that directly impact them because it's hard to get a lot of young people to vote, in mass, because a lot of times they don't think about shit because as far as they're concerned, that's old people shit. This shit ain't directly impacting me. But when somebody was like, "Hey, dog, yeah, you get pregnant, you get raped, you know what? You on your own. You're gonna have this baby." I was like, "Oh, bitch, this could affect me." Right. All these things could always affect you. But, being young, you just think that that's just something your grandma and them do, and you don't really understand the importance of this shit. So I'm glad they came out. And not only do they come out, what now is up to the particularly Democratic Party to keep them engaged, because you know what, they're young people. They're gonna do young people shit, and their attention span is really, really short. So you have to get them in and help them understand. No, this is a lifelong journey here. This ain't no let's vote for this one time. I don't get what I want, then just give up.
Yeah. And so hopefully that's not what's gonna happen.
Right.
I think these young people also are engaged because, one, obviously losing Roe, it shakes people to their core.
It does.
And young people more than anybody probably are like, yes, I should be able to have access to an abortion because I have my whole life ahead of me.
Right.
I don't have a resource to take care of a child.
Right.
I can't even fucking pay for my student loans.
I still stay at home with my mom and them.
Right. I'm 25. I'm at home with my mom. I'm on their insurance. Like,
yes.
This is a precarious balance, and y'all are making it more difficult. But also I think young people are like on TikTok and social media, and now like politics has become pop culture in a way that it really wasn't before. At least when I was a kid, it was pop culture if a scandal was big enough, Monica Lewinsky. But like the ongoing, the everyday goings on of how many people voted for this and what is a supermajority and what is a filibuster and all this shit.
I had no idea what that was.
That was not a thing that just routinely. Yeah, now I feel like people know it more.
Right.
And I'm not just saying my age group. I think our age group, we're getting older. Of course, we know a little bit more. But I mean, young kids know it more. People go on TikTok every day explaining some shit, So yeah, I'm encouraged by that, and I hope that the numbers bear that out. That it was youth that got a lot of help for us, but we'll see.
Yeah, and also people underestimate when it comes to the youth how much they were impacted by the COVID lockdowns, how much they were impacted by all the Black Lives Matter and shit like that. Like, for a lot of youth, they probably started getting interested before all these things happened. And then some of them became of age or was already of age to vote. And they was like, oh, I can get killed in the street and nothing's gonna happen to me. Like, so now I can go and vote and get these people out. So they look up and they start paying more attention, because a lot of it's just paying attention and getting outside of yourself and realizing the world is larger than you. And that's very hard for a lot of youth to do, because particularly in America, we're taught me, it's all about me and nobody else but me. Me and mine, but you've got to think outside of the box, because once you start thinking outside of the box, you start considering other people that may not be in the situation that you are in and still voting on their behalf sometimes, even when they don't have the ability to.
I also saw like David Hogg on Twitter claiming that the youth vote canceled out the old people over 65 vote, which I guess, but also like everybody over 65 don't vote Republican either. Like, it's every group. Like, it's not just you see an old person clearly Republican. You know what I mean? Anyway, it was just funny. Everyone wants to take credit for this win, even the people that was like demotivating voting just a few months ago. But whatever.
Yeah, like I said, when the numbers come out, we will see.
Yeah, we'll see if we get a definitive story out of this.
Yeah, we will see what happened, because I do believe that the youth showed up and actually wouldn't just somebody just talking, like there was
right. But like I said, it's confirmation bias. I don't know that.
Right.
I'm just thinking that maybe that's what happened.
Yeah. Okay.
Like we need to know. I would like to know
numbers. Yeah.
Because I think everybody's just picking what story feels the best to them.
Agreed.
Like it was funny. My girl Abigail Spanberger won her re-election. Spanberger and AOC were at odds in 2020 after Biden's election, because Spanberger was like, defund the police almost cost me my motherfucking election. And AOC was like, if you would have just got on Facebook and done, she's like, bitch, my people don't be on Facebook. I had to go to town halls and talk to these niggas in their face, and they don't be wanting to hear that shit.
No, they don't. They don't give a fuck about what's happening on this ticketed talk in the Facebook.
And I think what happened there was, as much as people want to call it divide, I wouldn't call it a divide. I don't think it's a philosophical thing. I think it's a win or lose thing.
Win or lose.
And people refuse to recognize that there's not one broad message that can win everywhere in America for Democrats. And I'd rather have Abigail in her seat, and even if she had to say, hey, I'm not planning to defund the police.
Correct.
Then to have her lose the seat because she was like, well, people on Twitter said defund the police, and now she don't got the seat and some Republicans in there. So I was watching that race closely. Abigail won her seat. And that was after everybody said that, she's weak. She was definitely supposed to lose this time. She was a blue dog Democrat. All this shit they were saying. She won her re-election too, so maybe she knew what the fuck she was talking about.
Yeah, what's so funny is like when people do that and the end result is somebody's losing, they never have anything to do once to see this loss. It's okay to see this loss. Now you are in an even worse predicament. What do you do? Huh? What? Huh? Silence? What? We ain't got nothing to say?
Like I said, it's the confirmation bias, because what they will do is blame.
Right.
So they'll come around and be like, yeah, the reason this happened is because they didn't do blame. And it's like, we don't actually know that that's true. We just know that we got to blame somebody somewhere, and that's the reason we're going to roll with it. Anyway, good midterm so far. We'll see what happens. I just saw that the AP poll at ABC declared Katie Hobbs wins over that election denying woman. Wasn't it Karen Bass? What was her fucking, not Karen Bass? That's the fucking that's the what do you call that? That's the mayor of Los Angeles race. I don't think that's called yet. Okay. But yeah, she won over Carrie Lake.
Okay.
And Carrie Lake is the election denying Trump sycophant.
Good.
Person like that. So but yeah, so let's see what other news we have. New study finds that 2 out of 3 Americans don't start to enjoy their vacation until day 3. Well, that's nice to have at least 3 days on a vacation. The study was conducted by one poll on behalf of Club Wyndham, revealed that 2 out of 3 Americans surveyed couldn't enjoy vacation due to excessive pressure. 2,000 Americans participated in the study. It now gives insight into vacation pressure. It also reveals that a typical vacation lasts about a week, and the average U.S. citizen doesn't actually start to unwind until day 3 of the vacay. Most U.S. travelers, about 62%, said they were worried about wasting their vacation time in tourist traps and have concerns about getting the very best of their destination while visiting, Travel Noir reported. There were other takeaways from the study that contributed to the unhappiness of vacation, like the 30% who worried about having enough money during the trip, the 29% who worried about making sure that credit cards work domestically or abroad, and another 29% who worried about not being able to do or see everything they plan. Well, those first two sound like broke.
We ain't got it. You know what? Like they say, sometimes you might have to do a staycay. You know what? Let's go on to the mountains or to the beach somewhere. And you like, all vacations ain't got to be abroad. But I think, here in America, we feel like if you don't do it big, you ain't on vacation. And I think some people live outside of their means with these vacations, just trying to live to keep up with the Joneses. You better do. If you got McDonald's money, you better do McDonald's vacation.
Yeah, it's also just a lot of, shit costs a lot more right now.
Right.
And maybe people don't have room, but then you have vacation days that accrue. And so you want to do something, and there is a pressure to like kind of stunt.
Yeah, and also for a lot of people, like I said, and everybody's different, but when you take time off work, people always feel like you have to go somewhere. What happened to I'm on vacation? You know what I want to do? Bitch, sleep. You know what I do? Recover. Not wake up at the crack of dawn, not fight traffic. I've done that before. I took a week off and not do a motherfucking thing, but sit on my ass, eat food, watch Netflix, play video games, do whatever the fuck I want to. And people go, "You go nowhere?" No. Why not? Because I want to rest. You know, I didn't want to go out and spend that money. And it's one of those things too, to where sometimes a vacation is doing nothing. For some reason, people think vacation is going somewhere. A lot of times you're already tired. A lot of times people, and then they go, "Well, I'm already tired," you know. And then a lot of times people put a lot of pressure on themselves. Like I said, that pressure. A lot of people they have type A personalities, but every second and every minute and every hour has to be planned out. You're stressing yourself out and you're stressing the other people that don't got these type A personalities, and y'all get out there and fucking fall out with each other because they mad because they was like, "Bitch, every second of my day ain't got to be planned out." So now everybody's stressed out. And then you have people, you know, they like, "Well, I got to see this and I got to see that," you know, versus some people are like, "Well, I just go with the flow type of thing when it comes to vacation," because everybody vacations differently. And everybody's expectations on vacation is different, you know. And so a lot of times, like I said, people have bought into certain things, say tourist traps. Those things are real, but you know, for a lot of people, they end up falling into them sometimes, whether they want to or not, you know, because they don't know actually how to properly plan. A lot of people don't know how to properly plan for vacations. You know, it depends on, is it, for some people, is your vacation a last minute vacation? A lot of people just ride out somewhere last minute, call it a vacation. And then some people actually, like you say, plan it out where they're going overseas and out of the country and all that stuff. Like you say, it's a lot that goes to it. And I could see it being very, just a stressful experience for some people. And some people, it might not be a stressful experience at all.
The FDA bans Juul from selling e-cigarettes in the U.S.
Them flavored cigarettes, ain't they? Not flavored cigarettes.
I don't know. I know it's vaping.
Yeah.
I know a lot of times they hide behind. I guess hide is maybe that's a loaded term. But I know a lot of times people say it's about the kids, but I wonder if it's, you know, I think adults smoke this shit too, you know.
Yeah, but they use a lot of those fruity flavors and stuff are very attractive to children.
Yeah, Juul's gonna fight the order. But yeah, they've ordered them to pull their vaping products, and you know, a lot of the company, you know, a lot of the decision is resting on the idea that youth will be doing it because there's a youth vaping epidemic, and this is how they're gonna fight it, by saying get that shit out of here.
Yeah, and the thing is, for a lot of people, it could be addictive, and they're like, this is another addictive thing that we have on our market.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, it just, you know, I don't smoke, but it just feels like everything with smoking is just bad. And then people try to, like, the companies, the big companies behind this shit, try to act like the new shit is like, oh, this, like, I'll never be able to get over the fact that when cigarettes first came out, the advertisers were like, you know, give your baby your cigarette, pep them up today.
Yes, and you used to could smoke everywhere, kids. You used to could smoke in the restaurant, in the airplane that you're working for. Like, people was like, smoking. In fact, smoking is good for you.
Right. It's like your doctor recommends 2 Lucky Strikes a day.
They start doing them tests. It was like, this might not be as healthy as we thought it was.
Moms who smoke Marlboro say that breastfeeding is easier. You know, it's like a lot of stuff. And so I'll never be able to get over that they had either bought doctors or just put out bullshit.
Yeah, and they knew it.
And they were able to do that for so long. And ultimately in 2022, as harmful as we know it is, we're still selling this product because we still grow tobacco and people will buy it.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I don't trust any new version, because every new version feels like a different version of, you know, dads who smoke menthols say it helps them on their jogs. You know, everything feels a little like that. But so it's like Juul is the new Lucky Strikes for moms, you know?
Yeah, and you know, I remember the commercials on like the big time magazines and stuff like that was the thing. All the commercials, they had these long cigarette just smoking and on the front page and all that type of stuff. And so it's just one of those things. But like you said, it's just a new version of it, because the thing is, they know for a lot of people, once you get started, they have a customer for life on the average, or at least somebody's going back and forth with this thing for the rest of their life. And so that's like something built in for it, and they know that if they raise the price because it's addictive, people are still going to continue to pay for it because it's an addiction.
Yeah, even those truth ads feel like something's up with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like the tobacco company has some type of relationship with truth. Like I forget the exact relationship, and I don't need 27 people to write in with what it is, but I just remember that it was like, even when I found that, I was like, of course, like it's all connected. It's like everything is some version of like, we just want to keep selling you cigarettes, you know. But yeah, we'll see. Jules gonna fight it, so it ain't that easy to just get out of it.
Too many people making too much money, because a lot of it boils down to money.
Yeah. All right, let's move into some other news. Let's see, maybe we can do some let's do some fucking with black people. How about that, everybody? Pull out the fucking with black people. There we go. I said play.
Computer right in front of my salad.
I know. What's going on?
You know we got company, right?
We're just fucking with them people because they ain't black. We're just fucking with them people because they ain't black. We're just fucking with them black people. We're just fucking with them blacks. We're just fucking with black people. Hey, hey,
You are. Show is. All right, let's talk about who's fucking with us today. Well, I feel like I've already brought this up a few times, but Supreme Court likely to ban affirmative action after Harvard UNC cases, say legal experts. Yeah, man. I mean, we kind of knew we was living in the last days of that affirmative action. Sucks. Clarence Thomas is one of the biggest haters of affirmative action.
Even though that's how he got his job. That trips me out. Well, it's like people, particularly black people that are against it, was like, nigga, you know the only reason why you got this top level job is because of it. And you know, it's crazy when it comes down to affirmative action, because when most people get these jobs, they are overqualified for the job, like super overqualified for the job. Like you can't be an average nigga to get certain jobs, you know, in this country without you just having so much knowledge that they just can't deny it. So they're like, fuck it, give them the job, quote unquote. You know, you got to literally outdo every fucking body in the goddamn building and run circles around everybody and consistently prove yourself, dealing with racism, and if you're, you know, woman sexism and all this shit, just to even be thought about for the job.
Yeah, it's always pitched as lowering the standards so black people are brown, and it's always black people, but so black people can have jobs even though white women benefit the most. But it's always considered lowering the standards, as opposed to like a room that only has white people in it is not a room of excellence. Ever. It's never just only white people are good at this thing. It's just a room of exclusion, and white people for the most part have a hard time looking at a room full of white people and not thinking somebody here doesn't belong. There should be other people here.
Because that's
it's like, no, this is the natural default setting. This is supposed to be the way of things. If anything, this is proof that we have only the best people, because the best people happen to always be white.
Right. And you know, diversity is diversity of opinions. Like, you know.
Yeah, well, honestly, Karen, I think that's just a bullshit line they sell us. I don't think they believe that. I think they say diversity of opinion when you bring up the fact that there's no other people in the room.
Right.
I don't think they want diverse opinions. They don't like when white people have opinions that are too diverse either. Like, that person's gonna be the person that does end up losing the job if they come in there being like, and another thing, Black Lives Matter. They're like, whoa. We don't need that much diversity of opinion.
Agreed.
We didn't let none of them in here for a reason.
Correct. And we don't need you representing them in this room.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking on their behalf.
You can get the fuck out with all that diversity of opinion. But yeah, it's looking bad. It's looking bad. So I guess we'll find out soon. I don't know when exactly they're ruling on this shit, but honestly, I hope there's people, if they set out, and especially if this shit comes back before the runoff in Georgia's done. If you thought sitting this shit out was okay and you figured you'd be all right, I hope you looking at this shit and realizing it won't be.
It will not be. And like a lot of things, people don't believe shit until it hits the fan, because that is a big one, and people underestimate how many people that will impact, and the ripple effects it will be across the country, and how devastating it will be to Black and brown and any marginalized people in the workplace.
It's like the VRA. The argument against it normally is like, well, shit'll be all right, and it won't be.
It will
like a lot of companies will return back to, we can be racist again,
or
we can be sexist again, or we can be against people's sexual orientation again. That's what a lot of companies are going to do. The good companies will write in some sort of diversity clause or inclusion clause into their, official documents and shit. But this should be a federal issue, and it always should have been.
Yes.
0 to 100.
Oh, this is 100 because the thing is, voting matters. Who we put in these Supreme Court positions matter, and it's one of these things where we live in a society where people don't believe shit until they see it. Yep. Like, people can tell you, hey, dog, like, this isn't going to end well. And people that feel like they're never going to be impacted by it, no matter what the issue is, don't take it seriously until they're impacted by it. But by the time that they're impacted by it, because a lot of times the people that are talking about it are drowned or dead or already being impacted by it. So by the time the issue raises up to you, you actually don't have the numbers to stop the flow. So you're going to drown just like everybody else.
Yep. I'll give it a Jakars. TikTok show viral TikTok shows a biker yelling racial slurs at a North Carolina woman in a road rage incident. Shout out to North Carolina, our home state. Mm-hmm. Let me know if the audio doesn't come through. Y'all know how this shit goes lately. So we'll find out together. But this.
That's it.
No sound? Okay. Let's try this again, everybody. Son of a gun. Let's see. Share audio. And then this. All right. I wonder, can I refresh this? Let me refresh it so it starts over so I can hit the beginning. But yeah, the guy's like, you're a fucking idiot. You can't drive. Okay. And keep in mind, he asked, you're an idiot. You can hear him ask her to put this up.
Fucking idiot. You have to make me. Yeah, go ahead. Put me on YouTube, you fucking moron. You are an idiot. You can't drive. Why didn't you not do license? Roll your window down so you can hear me, you fucking nigger. Roll your window down, you idiot. Fucking niggers.
I got your right.
Shut up.
I got your right.
So he wanted this.
The smoke.
Now, what he didn't know was that that woman has a pretty big the daughter of that woman has a pretty big TikTok following.
Oh no, he did not see that coming, did he? Because normally that's not gonna end well. Because he encouraged this behavior, didn't he?
Right. So the video was viewed at the time of this article, which is a couple weeks ago, over 2 million times.
God damn.
Yeah.
I'm not on TikTok like that, so this is my first time seeing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in the TikTok world, this was the talk of the chat of the town.
Yeah. So. We'll see if anybody catches up with this man, or Black Twitter costs him a job or some shit.
Black TikTok.
Yeah, or BlickTok as they like to be called. But yeah, 0 to 100.
Yeah, this is 100.
Yeah, is it ever that serious?
Mm-mm.
What could a car do to make you go all the way to the N-bomb?
I don't know. This is one reason why I keep my windows rolled up.
So you can't hear the N words?
Nope. You said it on the outside of my window, please.
Yeah, I give it 100. A Republican candidate caught wearing blackface Halloween costume. Mary Ann Mendoza's allies are defending her, saying whatever makeup she wore is no worse than drag queens. Oh, okay. We gotta get the LGBTQ people some of this too, huh?
They're like, now why am I in it?
Right.
They're like, we ain't got nothing to do with this.
Meanwhile, let me show y'all a picture of this costume. It is worse than drag queens. Like, that's not very good.
No! Did they use shoe polish? They went old school.
Yeah, that's one of the meme outfits. It says Aunt Jemima on it, so I guess she thought she was Aunt Jemima, which honestly you could have done without the blackface.
Yeah, you could have won an apron for that and just went on. Yeah, I bet you probably took forever to get that shit off your face.
Yeah, and then this look like brown face is a Native American. I wonder if she won her race. Mary Ann Mendoza. I need an update.
That's a good question.
Mary Ann Mendoza. Did she win?
Let's see.
Let's see. What was it? Was she running for house race? Maybe, I don't know. She ran. It just says war blackface. The only thing I see is war blackface. Oh wait, District 9 results. All right, let's see. Mary Ann Mendoza finished last. Huh?
Guess it was not here for
Maybe
the bullshit.
I don't know. Maybe she didn't win. I don't know. Don't look like it. I mean, unless it's the people that come in fourth also win. It looks like Lauren Austin, Seth Blattman, Kathy Pierce, and Mary Ann Mendoza. But I don't know if it's 4 people or just one wins.
Yeah, because sometimes it's like, the top such and such of people. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not 1,000% sure if this is the final
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's District 9, Arizona State House. Oh, maybe if I put that in. Okay. District 9, Arizona State House winner. Let's see what that happens.
It might give you the information then.
Say district election results. Arizona 9th. This is not conclusive. Why is this not just the winner? Okay. Candidate. No, that doesn't make sense. Paul Gosar, uncontested incumbent. That doesn't make sense. Oh well, I guess we'll never know. All right, guys, I gave it a shot.
I said that don't make it easy to find this shit out.
This one was a bit. This one was a bit difficult to get the house results.
Anybody else? They just tell you.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting here. I'm in another site now, Ballotpedia, scrolling down and not seeing
any results.
Yeah, Mary Ann Mendoza not even on here, so maybe the Arizona's 9th district was not the way to find it. Anyway, though, they was 0 to 100. They was wild, and I really thought we might get through a whole Halloween with no blackface.
We
didn't, because this is an old picture. This is a picture from this year for Halloween. So clearly,
we just getting it after Halloween.
Yeah, we finding out late. So 0 to 100.
We almost made it.
I give it 100 as well. It's not even good blackface. I think that actually might be
not good.
In a lot of cases, that's the most insulting part. Like, you didn't even do good blackface. Now, I'll tell you some other blackface that was happening. Attack ads in this campaign cycle were darkening the skin of black candidates. So now I really want to
making them scarier for the white
people. I
really
want to know what's the point of darkening your skin to be Aunt Jemima to charcoal black what are you really trying to say? If when you make things darker, you think that's bad and scary.
Yep.
Clearly, as a Republican, that's why you do it in your attack ads.
Did somebody go and started looking at the tent and was like, "This is what they really look like."
I mean, you know what your picture look like, so you can just look at the picture they got it from, and like this one right here. They clearly put a filter on this shit.
Ooh, they made it super dark.
Yeah. Now they're claiming that it's just technical. What did it say? They said it was like technical issues or some shit.
Bitch, people know what pictures look like. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
We know that's a filter or a tent that you put across that bitch.
Stacey Abrams. Like this shit is wild. They even took her photo from Star Trek and darkened it. Like, oh my God, man. White people, wow. They get so creative with the racism. Just not in the other places. But when it comes to the motherfucking racism, they the GOAT.
On top of it.
Okay. Can't stop them.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Shout out to the people that were gonna vote for Stacey Abrams, but then saw she was darker in the pictures and was like, oh, hold on now. I mean, I want my student loans, but not from someone that dark. Not you gotta be a little higher up on the low, a little bit low on the Fenty scale for I can't let you end gun violence unless you wearing that low Fenty, okay? All right, Karen, 0 to 100.
I give this one 50.
All right, Karen's giving this one a 50. All right, let's get out of here. This is already.
Did you give your score?
I give it a 75. It's pretty bad. I guess the worst part is that it works.
Yes, that's why
I'm like, damn, this shit worked. This sucks. What's wrong with y'all? Why does this work on you?
Right. It's like the illusion scares you. Death actually scares other people, but the illusion
but a dark-skinned person scares you.
Yes.
And you like the fact if it works at all on anybody, that's just sad. And the fact that Republicans invest in this shit and these fear tactics because they just can't win on just the issues. They win on fear mongering every time. All right, guess the race time. Oh, that's right. My shit doesn't want to play.
What time is it?
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
That's right. It's guess the race time. The game we go around the globe, find different articles, and guess the race of the people involved. Karen is the guesser.
Yay!
And of course, the chat room plays along. They also guess, and everyone playing is racist. Okay, so don't get your hopes up too high for these people because they're not good people. Regardless of what we just said about being bothered by racism and the stuff we said about politics and all that stuff, at the end of the day, these motherfucking racists can't help themselves.
They said they can't hear anything.
Son of a gun. I'm so sorry, everybody. I keep forgetting. Oh, but how can I play this without showing y'all the thing? Fuck. Okay, hold on. All right, hold on. I'll figure this out.
Yeah, they gotta be waiting just for the.
Okay, so I can share the audio. Do this. I can press play and then just don't show y'all the video. All right, here we go, guys.
Some tense moments this afternoon here at American Recovery on Lyle Boulevard in McKeesport. This is where a man came into the property to take back his car that was repossessed. In the process, he climbed over the fence and got onto the property. And as an employee was trying to put his car into the garage, he jumped in, pulled the employee out of the car, which is a woman, and threw her to the ground.
and threw me on the ground when I was trying to keep him from taking his car.
No, you were inside the car at the time.
Yes, I was.
And then he did what?
He ripped me out of his car and threw me on the ground.
Because you were in the driver's seat.
Correct. Yes, I was trying to put his car in the garage that way so that he couldn't take it.
Employees say he pulled off, police gave chase, and eventually caught him in White Oak. In McKeesport, Sheldon Ingram, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.
Thank you, Sheldon. We also have new video tonight of that arrest Sheldon was just telling us about. This video was taken right outside Founders Hall Middle School in McKeesport. You can see police cruisers surrounding the man in that repossessed car. He then tries to run away up the school's hill right there with police chasing after him. But as employees from American Recovery told Pittsburgh's Action News 4 tonight, they eventually caught up with him and took him into custody. We are still waiting to hear from police.
All right, Karen. Did not mean to play it again.
Did they give his name or no?
I have his name.
Okay.
His name is Raymont Tyrone Dallas.
Black.
Okay, Karen's going with black. Let's check the chat room, see what they believe. Not a lot of guesses yet. Some laughs or G's. Sounds like something a nigga would do. Black. That is a Negro. A nigga who posted on Facebook that somebody stole his car. Black. Man,
well, you know you owe that people that money.
Nigga, a dark skin one too, nigga. They got a nigga to report on the nigga cut. Plus, he got a nigga named Black. Even before hearing the name, I thought Black. Diamond in the back, sun rooftop, digging the scene with a type of nigga. Nigga, Black. It works on GTA Black. The correct answer is everybody's said the same thing and everybody got it correct. He's Black. They don't have a good picture of him. Just, you can just see he's Black from the footage from the police. What I think is interesting, I in college, I had a dude tell me his car was stolen. And I got in my car, it was during spring break, and helped this nigga drive around Fayetteville, North Carolina in the middle of the night, hoping to see his car, which, how does that make sense? What are the odds we're going to take the right route to see his fucking car? And then what the fuck I'm going to do? Nigga, I'm on scholarship. I'm not finna fight the fair one with no motherfuckers, and that nigga barely knew me.
Not with the repo man. No, thank you.
Well, he was saying it was stolen. So he was saying we was gonna do something to somebody that stole it. I said, bro, you on your own. We catch these motherfuckers. You just gonna have to hop out the car and handle yours because I'm not dying.
Right. Yeah.
And turned out his car was just repossessed.
Yeah. So then when my car stole it, you ain't made no payments.
Yeah. Turned out this car was just repossessed.
Yeah, repo man will fuck you up.
Yeah, because that's how people get down.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I was about to use this for guest erase, but I didn't realize that was on outkick.com. And no, my brother, we don't do that over here. Let's go to another
Outkick
racist right wing site.
Okay.
They wrote a bunch of hack pieces about how much they didn't like game theory. That's how.
Oh, no, thank you.
And I was happy. I said, good. That means we're on the right path. All right, let's see. How about we'll do a different one. We'll do nope, that person got too famous. Everybody knows who she is. Okay, how about this one? Video. Pasco County deputies attempt eviction at the wrong house. Whoops.
Black. That's all I'm trying to make them errors.
Eviction mistake. My bad. Is this 317 or
318?
Yeah. All right. Let me see if I can share my screen without giving away the whole video. They make it tough.
Show up to her house to serve an eviction notice.
They're still showing it.
Yep.
I can't. Fucking son of a bitch.
Yeah, some of them got that where they whenever you move now, they still got it playing in the corner.
How do I do this?
Yeah.
How do I do this?
Yeah, there has to be a way to share the sound without sharing the screen.
Okay, what if I open a different browser? Give me a second, guys. We're working this out on the fly. We'll see if y'all can hear it if I open it in a different browser, because my God, that there has to be a way around this. I don't know who designed this. Is this y'all's way of trying to get me to move over to Crowdcast version 2? This is gonna be the only way it's gonna work.
I bet you so.
All right, let me see if I can find the same article. Okay, all right. So now I'm gonna try to play it. Y'all let me know if y'all hear it, and then I'll share my screen in a second. You may hear an ad first. So I'm gonna hit play.
SD Building Solutions is here for all your roofing needs.
Is anybody hearing that?
Yeah, they hear it.
Okay, so we found a workaround. So we'll be doing it this way from now on. And then we'll play the article now that the ad is done.
If you're concerned
who is responsible for reading the numbers on my house, and he said that they all are.
A Pasco County woman pushing back when deputies show up to her house to serve an eviction notice. The deputies were at the wrong house. Good evening, I'm Keith Kate.
I'm Jennifer Lee. Thank you for joining us tonight. Jennifer Michelle posted the eviction mix-up on TikTok and it went viral, reaching more than 1 million views. News Channel 8's Olivia Steen joins us now live from Pasco County with the story. Olivia.
Well, Jennifer Michelle tells me this is a story that she can laugh about now that it's over, but in the moment she was frantic when 2 Pasco County Sheriff deputies and a locksmith showed up to her front door.
Hello? What are you doing?
She hopped on the Ring doorbell like, hey.
That's what it's there for. What the fuck I'm opening up my door for? Who is you? Why is you here?
We're here to finalize the eviction.
Jennifer Michelle tells me she didn't expect to receive this ring alert on Thursday while visiting with her mother.
I didn't know if these people are trying to get into my house. I didn't know if everything was okay.
What is your name?
My name is Jennifer.
You can hear her going back and forth with the Pasco County deputies at her door, with a locksmith standing by.
And they told me that they were serving an eviction, and which is news to me because I don't rent. But they told me that it was posted last week.
In this video, you could see one of the deputies going back to the front of the house. It didn't take long for them to realize
we have the wrong house.
That they were at the wrong address.
As soon
as I said my name, they knew that they messed up. I was upset. I was very upset.
Michelle tells me the deputies meant to go next door and they apologized for the mix-up.
As soon as I came here, they told me that I'm going to need a new lock and that the guy, I guess, who broke my lock was going to fix it.
She's just glad she caught them at the right time. And imagine if you didn't have the camera at all.
Don't even get me started on that.
Came home and just been locked out your
I have thought about that
motherfucking house.
Times. I just think that if I didn't catch it, would all of my stuff been out in the driveway.
I did speak with someone from the Pasco County Sheriff's Office, and they told me they are investigating the situation and trying to figure out how this mistake happened. Michelle says she also received an apology from her neighbor's rental company. Live in Pasco County, Olivia Steen, 8 on your.
All right, Karen, guess the race of the woman they tried to evict.
What was her name?
Her name is Jennifer Michelle.
White.
All right. Let's check the chat room, see what they believe. White, useless whites. She can laugh about the story now because they didn't shoot her ass. White sounds white. I don't rent sounded like Caucasian shade. Valley girl, Becky ain't a renter. She owns that shit. White. Black woman would have been shot through the door. White. Do I look like a colored person? I don't rent. I own. White. Blacks rule. White. Police believed her. White. White woman rightfully upset. 2 first names. White. The correct answer is white. And nobody missed it, Let me see if I can pull up her. Oh, great. I was trying to pull up her picture for y'all so y'all can see what she looked like.
Yeah, she was too calm.
Yeah, it also like they did believe her. This didn't turn into the nightmare horror story situation.
Because if she just said a name and it wouldn't have sounded right, how they'd have drew that hold and And then, like I said, imagine you ain't had that, you come home and then you don't know who to contact and how the fuck this happened.
Well, she also used that white woman voice that makes anybody just stop in their tracks.
Stop it right now! This is stupid! This is absolutely ridiculous! Get out of here! We are adults, and this is ridiculous! Cut the crap!
Cut the crap.
Karen, you're 2 for 2. Time for the bonus round. If I can get this to play, what's going on, guys? Here we go.
The bitch was white! I ain't racist. How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
It's time to get gold feet, gold chain wearing, fried chicken and biscuit eating, monkey big baboon, big thigh, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball.
Collier School Board's Jerry Rutherford says he wants to bring back corporal punishment. Newly elected Collier County School Board member Jerry Rutherford wants to bring back corporal punishment to district classrooms. He said the morning after Tuesday's election, he added that disabled students' behavior is out of control.
What?
Not the special needs kids.
Not the children that need the most attention.
What? What?
There's a Republican white. I don't understand.
Gotta be Republican. Got it.
Yeah,
right?
that shit don't make no sense.
Can't be no Democrat.
Right.
Additionally, he said that he'd like to see fewer rights for LGBTQ students, or the same extended to religious students who want to practice religion in school. So he's one of these Christians are the ones that are really oppressed and don't have any rights. So we need to give Christians more rights and take away the LGBTQ students' rights. Who lost to him? Jory Westbury, who lost her school board seat to Rutherford, said his views on corporal punishment, LGBTQ students, and religion in schools would put something so pervasively wrong in schools. Florida allows corporal punishment in public schools as long as the district allows it. First of all, she said, if Florida allows corporal punishment, Collier County does not. Second, students with handicaps are entitled to a free public education without retribution because of their behavior. That's why we have behavior specialists who work with students, parents, and teachers to enable them to have a more effective, productive experience in school. And Westbury, and she lost. Rutherford won the District 1 seat away from the longtime teacher, administrator, and school board member, Westbury, with a strong 65.4%.
What happened?
What?
You know
what is wrong with these people?
I'm gonna tell you something too. It would not be surprising, and they strategically did this. We was talk about this for the school boards. They don't put DNRs beside people's names anymore for school boards. And so you actually do not know who you're voting for. So you actually have to investigate and see who these people are to see who you're voting for.
Well, I think it's different. I think it's a lot of this movement of trying to like get the CRT out of school and shit. And a lot of these people are more mobilized and organized than they would have been before.
Agreed.
And some of these nut jobs are taking advantage of it. After speaking on a myriad of issues at school board meetings countless times for more than 35 years, Rutherford told the Naples Daily News in July he decided he didn't want to be on the outside looking anymore, so he joined the school board race. This was his first time running for any elected position. Rutherford was endorsed by Collier County Republican Executive Committee, and everybody they endorsed won their races.
Wow.
Yeah, all three of them were challengers. So that's why I'll tell you, it's a movement. It's not just, oh, we weren't paying attention. It's we picked a Republican on purpose to be in there. As a devout Christian, he's fought to distribute Bibles in schools and to institute prayer at school board meetings. He also protested Naples LG. So just fuck separation of church and state. Just fuck that. He also protested Naples LGBTQ Pride Festival, specifically speaking out against drag shows. Oh, see, that's cold. That's cold. Same as that woman about the blackface in the drag show. They took that one viral story, and I saw a lot of, sadly, I saw a lot of black people kind of fall in line on this, with the whole like you can't take a kid to a drag show, and it was like all of this is just fodder for these Republicans to like fuck up the school board. Right. Like every time they put kids, they use the example of like one kid, one place, one time as we, it's like, there's a trans athlete in Utah and then someone in Florida is like, we need to pass a law against trans girls competing. You're like, what is happening?
Right. This is not even in your state.
And this is one of those. That drag show shit was one of those. We didn't even talk about it on the show because I honestly find it to be so sensationalistic and weak. You know what I mean? Not that like, because the debate about it is really impractical, because the debate isn't they forced a kid to go to a track show. Somebody's parents took the kid there and died, and the kid was safe. Nothing happened to the kid.
No, everybody knows it's a kid.
It's the end of that's the end of it for me.
Yeah, the fuck you think gonna happen?
Yeah, no, nothing happened. So that's the end of it. It really wasn't like some illegal situation. It's like it's no different taking a kid to Hooters or something. I might not think it's the coolest shit in the world, but I can be like, that's it's fine. They took their kids to Hooters, not the end of the world. Right. But anytime they throw these parents, they throw these kids out there on the Republican side, it's always to get some power. And they got power by getting on the school board.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, guess the race of Mr. Beat the special needs kids, Jerry Rutherford. White. Karen's going with white. Okay, Lily, let's check the chat room.
Flower White.
Not Lily Flower White. Let's check the chat room.
That don't make no sense.
His mama ain't shit for giving birth to him white. He was out of town January 6th, and those parents can't spell white. Oh Lord, please don't let me let this be an Ashley Herschel Walker as black man white. That's some cockdacity for you, white. He calls people in wheelchairs chiggers white. Greg Locke, only white. I don't know who Greg Locke is. Only white. Only Jerry's are white, excluding Jerry Rice. The correct answer is white. Oh man. Y'all are so creative. Man, don't he just look like
dude in the front with the glasses?
Yes.
That old ass nigga.
He just look like he want to be in the 3%ers. Just a oh my goodness. Don't like nothing smiley about him. Like, why y'all vote for this man?
He looked like he won't take rights away.
Right. Like he looked like an extra in A Time to Kill.
Come on, in the background, one of the city people.
Yeah. Oh man. They don't even party right. Look at this. Nothing but white people putting their hands up like Hitler. Salute. This is sad. Well, I guess they won now. Sad days. All right, let's get into the last thing. Let's do some sword ratchetness. All right, sword ratchetness time, where we cover the stories around the globe involving these motherfucking swords. Let's get to the first one. Oh wait, this went to the wrong screen. Give me a second. Let's get to the first one. Trying it again. You can get fucked up. St. Pete woman threatened man with sword over parking spot.
Oh,
yeah.
Baby, you can have that spot. What is happening here?
We saw somebody at the Publix getting mad about a parking spot.
She was hot. She just stopped in the middle of the road, got out, was just talking.
Yeah. I didn't want to see nothing happen. It was a black woman confronting a white woman. Apparently, the white woman pulled into the spot where either she ignored that this black woman was waiting for the spot or she thought she had the right of way. It don't really matter because the black woman was 7:30 hot. But it was funny because she got out of her car and talked to the white woman and kept asking her questions and shit. And it was that thing where it's rhetorical. It don't matter what the white woman thinks. But she's like, I just want to know, did you see me or did you not see me? So you saw me and you ignored that I had already been waiting on this space. And she was talking so long, I was like, she could have parked anywhere.
And y'all, they were empty parking spaces all around her.
It was the principle of the matter, which I understand. Yeah. But if I hadn't known about sword ratchetness, if I hadn't known about, the violence that can happen so quickly in the world, I would have been like, roll my window down, like, you ain't gonna do shit, and then drove off.
No, thank you.
But I said, no, she might kill this white woman. Now her family ain't got no mom. I don't know. So I just said, let me drive off. But yeah, this woman apparently didn't have a rod there to de-escalate things. Nope. Quana Manning, 41, had gotten into an argument with the man over parking space at her apartment complex. Oh, that's even worse because you live there.
Right?
Like, you can't not see this motherfucker again. Police said a woman exited her vehicle, approached the victim's box truck while wielding a sword, described as being approximately 2 feet in length.
Woo.
According to the report, the woman raised the sword close to the man's open driver's side window and told him, you could get fucked up.
See, second time in a row. Roll your windows up, kids. Roll your goddamn windows up. And you ain't got no heat or air. Just deal with it unless your car is like on a highway. Just sweat it out because it is not worth dealing with racists and dealing with people with swords. Roll your windows up.
Racist.
No, nobody wants to deal with this. Because
yeah.
he'd had his window rolled up, she'd have had to break it to get to him. She couldn't have pointed the sword through the cracks.
Yeah, that's the lesson of the show. The document said the suspect did not have any intention of killing the victim, but the man still was afraid of being harmed. Yeah. I didn't say you can get killed. I said you can get fucked up. Now, why he being all dramatic and shit, I don't know. Manning was booked on a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and placed in the Pinellas County Jail. All right, that's it for today's show. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Yes. We'll be back later on in the week. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everyone. Have a good night. Keep your windows